Fix that light. Alrighty. Hello, hello. I think this might be live. There's always a slight delay on my screen. Yes, we're live. Amazing. All right, I'm going to pop that here because I know a few of you said that you may be able to hop on live because I was organized this week and told you what time I was coming on. And super excited to get back into that routine. Let me just check the sound. Can you hear me? Organized this week. Perfect. So if you jump on, say hey. And if you're on the replay, say hi too. I always love seeing you guys on the replay, knowing who is here, that you're watching, what's resonating with you. Oh my God, this phone. Why won't you? Where can you stand? Because I can't see comments on my screen. Oh gosh, we're super... I feel like there should be a way to stand this up that I'm not seeing. I'll put it in front of my glasses case. Amazing. Say hi. I can see there's a couple of people jumping on. Amazing. Okay. Super excited to be back with you guys for a regular Friday flow of live streams. Obviously, we did the big launch, I was going to say this month, last month, over the past few weeks. And so haven't been doing the live streams in the same regular way that I have been up until now, but we should be back in the routine now. So there's so many new people to the group. So ideally, I would love to get to know you. If you're watching this, say hi. If you haven't already introduced yourself in the group, feel free to do so. And what I do is I basically run a live training in here most Fridays. It's kind of Thursday evening if you're in North America, and give you some epic value, which is what I'm here to do today. So I'm super excited to do this. And I made notes. Everyone knows when I make notes, things are getting serious. I planned this, I've made notes. I've got something amazing to share with you. So what we're going to dive in today is, let me see if I can see comments, because I can see that there's people on comments. There is one. Why isn't it showing up for me? Let me see. What we're going to dive in today. Oh, it's D. Hi. I can see the comments. Amazing. Happy Friday to you as well. I hope you're having a great day. The kids back at school this week. Awesome. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to share with you how to identify what's going on in your business if you're not sold out, right? I've created a new method in my business called the Simply Sold Out Method. Okay. I'm in the process of kind of trademarking that. So that's the method I teach with my clients. And I have been for some time, but I haven't, I guess, given it a name. And that's become really clear to me over the past couple of weeks. So the Simply Sold Out method is the way I teach my clients to sell out their business, especially in that initial stage of business. So you simply sell out, you get that working like the well-oiled machine, and then you scale your business. So wherever my clients come to me, I've got a way to work with them, whether they want to sign their first few clients, get sold out, or they're looking to scale, not really scale to six figures, but grow to six figures, or scaling beyond that. There's different things to solve at different parts in that journey. So you always have problems in business to solve, but the problems look slightly different at different stages, right? So further along, it's around team, it's around scaling, it's around holding space, right? Managing, lots of moving parts. In the early stages, which is what we're focusing on today, it's figuring out how to consistently bring people into your business and be a money-making coach. So that's what we're going to look at today. It's super important to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the framework so that you can clearly identify where you may need to focus attention in your business to get the result you want, and where you may need support, but where to focus your energy and identify where you need to work on to sell out your business, right? And the reason this is so important is basically I see a lot of people with a few key problems in their business, okay? The first is something that's quite common, is that many coaches are skipping over the foundations of their business because either it sounds really boring, right? Or we see people offering us these silver bullets and talking about really fast results, and we get distracted by those. Or it's like, I just want to get into the doing. And so let me just kind of, leapfrog this thing, right? So many people I see don't have the foundations in place and they're skipping over it, okay? The second thing is that I see that's a mistake is that people think they have their foundations in place, but haven't sort of validated them. So I've been in conversation with some people recently, especially while I was in the launch process. And sometimes people are very convinced that they have the foundations in place. But when an outsider looks in, my view is that actually you don't, right? This isn't as clear as you think it is, right? So often we are making things way more complicated than they need to be. And it's the same with our foundations. And so if someone looking in is like, that doesn't seem clear, that your foundations aren't clear, it makes sense. Just, we've heard this cliche a million times, I'm sure, but you can't build a rock solid house on something that's not solid, right? So one of the mistakes I can see is that people are convinced and not really willing to get feedback on their foundations. And so there needs to be a process of checking, like, have I got these things right to then go and build my house on? Okay. The third problem that I'm going to see, which this framework is going to help with today, is that people aren't really clear on what the problem is in their business that they need to solve. And they end up either bringing in support that's not the right solution. So for example, if you're not getting in the clients you want, some people are like, well, it's not getting in front of enough eyes, so I'll do a Facebook ads training, right? But actually it's solving the wrong problem, because you should be signing clients even with a small audience. And once that's working, then you scale into ads, right? So the question is, what's the right problem to solve? Because I see so many people solving the wrong problem. And often they create so much more work than they need to, and build out, I need to build out this 50-step process to actually sign clients, when really signing clients can be really simple as long as these things are clear. So if something is not working, you want to check and really just be logical and say, what problem do I need to solve here, right? And this framework is going to help you identify if which of the problems might apply to you. So let me know. I'm just going to check the comments. Let me know if you've got thoughts, comments as you watch this back. I wanted to share a couple of announcements. I kind of thought I'd put them in here just to throw it in, but there's two announcements I have that I want to share before we dive into the actual framework. So the first is that I have 2 new spots for one-on-one coaching opening, one in May and one in June, right? So if you've been interested or want to talk about one-on-one coaching, I'm going to be sending out an email to the waitlist and kind of more broadly, but applications are now open for one-on-one working together. This is for anyone, one-on-one is really the fast path to getting where you want to be. So if wherever you are in your business, have a chat and we can see if it's the right fit for you. Usually my one-on-one is best suited for people that have some of the assets in place and have been doing things, have been showing up in their business, but it's not clicking in the way they want to, or they're ready to go to 6 figures or start scaling beyond that. So that's who my one-on-one's suited for. But I do have clients as well who prefer one-on-one accountability right from the start of their business, and we work through the process. Okay, so one-on-one, 2 spots open. Super exciting. I have not opened any spots for a long time. I've been fully booked. I haven't taken on a new client since January, I think. I started with my first new client in a couple of months yesterday, but it's because so many of my clients renew. There's someone making noise. So many of my clients renew and work with me for the long term. So it's common that I don't have spots opening very often because my clients renew and stay in that spot. So wanted to share that here before I forget. And the second thing I want to share is we are going to be celebrating, well, we already are, I guess, but it's not the end of the month yet. We have had, I should say isn't it funny when you get uncomfortable and you kind of push it away? I do have a team that supports me, so it's not just me, but my business has had its biggest month to date this month, which is super exciting. That's cash month. I don't really measure sales. I measure cash received. We've had our biggest month and we're going to hit, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, a really epic new milestone. So I'm super excited. I'll share more with that with you next week when the numbers are final, but it's just that reminder to celebrate your wins and bring people in on the journey, right? Because I know it can be super uncomfortable to share what's going well for you, but I know that I always get feedback from you that when I share where we're going, what we're doing, what results we're getting, the challenges on the way, but also the wins, it's really inspiring. So I want to share that with you. They're my two announcements. So we're going to shift back now into, that was like an ad break, wasn't it? We're going to shift back now into the Simply Sold Out method and looking at this framework, okay? So the Simply Sold Out method has 4 key steps, I guess you would say, within the method, okay? So the first is defining your dream business. The second is simple client attraction. The third is successful sales. And the fourth is mindset. You guys know I love the mindset, okay? So to simply sell out your business, they're the 4 key pillars, I guess, if you were to look at it as like a quadrant of things to have in place, okay? And what you can do is you can start to look at each of these because it will become clear. Obviously, each of these things has a number of steps within it, but the framework starts to help you identify where do you need to focus your attention? And that's what we're gonna look at now. So let me know if you've got any comments, any questions. I'm just gonna keep checking on my phone as we go. Just, God, it's nothing worse than watching yourself on screen. Okay. All right. So the Simply Sold Out method, just to reiterate that, just to be sure that you're clear and let me know if this resonates with you. Define your dream business, simple client attraction, successful sales, and mindset. Okay. They're the 4 things to have in place to simply sell out your business. And by simply, we mean no ads, no complex funnels, no need to grow an email list, no need to get 10,000 followers. Simply showing up where you are right now and selling out your business that way. And then once that is proven, you scale into those other things. So nail that, test and prove your concept, and then you grow into some of those other things, okay? So the first one that I want you to start thinking about, because I'm sharing this with you so that you can start thinking about where you are in business, and perhaps like you might even want to draw this up as like quadrants on a page, so a square in 4, and think about which of these things is not working in my business the way I think it needs to be getting the results I want. And the results are consistent clients coming into your business and signing up to work with you, right? So knowing how to fill up your business and working with clients. Okay. So the first one, defining your dream business. Now, in this, obviously, it's not obvious. I shouldn't say obviously. This is around being clear on what your business is here to do and also your why and your vision. Okay. It's become so clear that if you don't have a why behind you driving your business, the motivation wanes in business, right? People, business can be hard. There are setbacks. You have to be so open to feedback. You have to be open to being rejected, right? It's just such a growth experience. And no matter who you speak to, they'll say that. Even my recent launch, like I went out and asked people like, why aren't you signing up? What's in the way? What about this doesn't resonate with you? Why do you think this isn't the right offer for you? Like that's pretty vulnerable to go and do and ask for that level of feedback, right? But it just like, it's just data. I so needed it, right? And that just really helped me get clear on what parts weren't resonating, what parts were, why people are joining, why people aren't joining, like all data, right? But like your why needs to be strong for you to be doing that, right? If your motivation is like, I just want to quit my job and do something else and make lots of money, right? Like the motivation and the willingness to do those hard things wanes, right? So defining your dream business is actually understanding like, what is the big why? What's my purpose behind this? And creating a business that allows you to live out your why, not for your clients, but for you, right? That's the thing that keeps you going through the hard times and through the setbacks. So important, but something, again, we want to skip over, because why do you keep getting up and doing the things that you're doing when it feels hard, when you're not getting the results you want, right? You need to tap into your why, right? Another piece here is the goals, right? Like, what are you actually wanting to create in your business, right? Do you want to book out one-on-one? Do you want to be working part-time? Do you want to be, bringing in 6 figures? Do you want to be making $1 million company in the next 5 years? Like, all of that's really important and really drives how you set up your business. So without that vision of where you're going, right, you could be building the business you don't actually want, right? And then you're kind of acting out of alignment, and that's where it can get hard to keep showing up for it, okay? And within defining your dream business, one of the really important foundations is like, who do you help and what do you help them with? Okay, the niche. Now, so many people either want to make this way more complicated than it needs to be, or know what they want to do, but keep pulling up and keeping it super broad, right? The niche drama. Right? Your people want a result, and they want someone who is a specialist in getting people that result. The coaching industry has become fuller, which is amazing. More people working with coaches, but that also means our clients have become more sophisticated, and they don't want to work with generalists. They want to fast track and they want results. So they want to work with people who can get a specific result, right? And so making sure that in your dream business and that really solid foundation, you're clear on what you help people to do, where you get them, what's that end point, and who you help them with, who those people are, okay? I can't stress enough how important this is, but most people are skimming over it and saying, I'll just keep it broad. I don't want to go down that level, right? And then wondering why they're not attracting people into their business, okay? So just think about that. All right, so that's defining your dream business, your vision, your why, like who your business is here to help and what you help them with, okay? Step 1, defining your dream business. Okay, so have a look at that quadrant and think like, are those things all solidified, right? Because that's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to keep you in it. And that's what's going to help you design all of the next key things in your business. If you don't know what result you're helping people get, it's very hard to define a client attraction strategy. So these are the foundations with which to build upon. Okay, so that's defining your dream business. Step 1 in the Simply Sold Out method. Okay, step 2 is simple client attraction. Right, so here you can start to see, am I consistently bringing people into my business? Right, the first quadrant, define your dream business. If you're not clear on any of those things, that's where you want to focus your energy. If you're like, hey, no, those things are pretty much in place, I feel really clear on those, we move to step 2, client attraction. So what you want to ask yourself here is, am I consistently bringing people into my business? Are there people consistently taking up my offers and moving through and becoming clients? So coming on the client journey or the customer journey from being in your audience, being someone who's around you in your community, through to being a client, right? A lot of people, in my experience, are winging this part. They have no clear strategy for bringing clients in. And it's that spaghetti at the walls thing, or it's like, I don't even know what to do, so I'm procrastinating. So you may not have symptoms you might experience if you don't have a clear client attraction. It's like, you're not getting calls booked into your calendar. You're not having conversations with people, right? You're not having inquiries, right? And so the question you might be asking yourself is, what do I need to do to be seen by more people? Maybe I should be running ads. Maybe I should be on webinars. Like maybe I should be like doing different things, right? Because most people think at this stage when they have a client attraction problem that they need a bigger audience. Now, my business is at $200,000 cash, like it will be by June in the 12 months. And I still have what is considered a very small audience, right? This group is 700 people. My Instagram, I think maybe 2,500 people. My Facebook page, we don't even bother putting content out there at the moment, right? So like, and my email list is I think somewhere around 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 people. And obviously there are a lot of the same people. So a lot of the people in this group, the 700, most of them are a portion of the people that follow me on Instagram. And most of those are like the people that are on my list, right? So overall, I might have an audience of 2,000-ish. But obviously not all of them are warm to me, right? Like there's people that are just there and following along that aren't kind of highly engaged and warm in what I'm doing, right? But so just for context, right? When I had my first 14K cash month, this group was less than 200 people. My email list might have been like 400 people. And my Instagram, I think, was less than 2,000, okay? So just be careful that if the problem is that you don't have a path to bring people into your business, that you're confusing that. Because I see a lot of people confusing that in that they think I just need a bigger audience. Whereas my view is that you need a way to bring your current audience into your business, right? And this, you know, there's a few different things it can look like, but one of the things is not clearly asking people to come in, not having, you know, like a strategy to get people on a call with you and to be having a sales discussion. And the other one that I see a lot is not being consistent. So not consistently putting out content or consistently building a relationship with people. You can do that by going to networking events. You can do that through content on Instagram. You can do that through live streams on Facebook. There's so many different ways. But if you're not being consistent, right, then you actually have a client attraction problem, not an audience size problem. And the same if you are showing up consistently, but you are not getting calls booked into your calendar, your problem is not audience size, right? It's something in your messaging, your offer, those types of things, okay? Not having a strategy to get people in on your calendar, right? And either that's they're not resonating with what you're offering, you're not offering it clearly, right? You're not positioning yourself as an expert, all of these different things that fit in client attraction, right? There's really only like 5 things there, but think about it, right? Is this the area that you need to focus on in your business, right? If you are being consistent, if you are showing up, right, and you're clear on foundation 1, defining your dream business, but you're not getting calls booked in your calendar and you're not having people expressing an interest in working with you, you actually have a client attraction problem, not an audience size problem. Right, because there's even ways to leverage other audiences, which I'm teaching the women in Consistent Confidence and Cash and Clients. God, that's a mouthful. And with my one-on-one clients, we leverage other audiences, right? So it's usually not about audience size. Okay, so that's step 2, simple client attraction. Okay, is that where you need to focus your energy in your business? Actually getting people in from audience into your business, like becoming an actual lead, right? A person who has an interest in working with you, whether or not they're converting, right? But like actually generating leads into your business. Okay. If that's the thing for you, then make sure like you're focusing your attention there on client attraction and not about audience reach, right? Because audience reach and growth and all of that is something that comes later. Right? Like I didn't focus on audience growth, and I mean, I'm still not really focusing on it that much until later, until I knew how to sell. People were selling out, like people were booking, there was excess demand. And then switch, because audience growth isn't actually like a revenue generating activity. Because I know people that have an audience of 20,000 followers that don't make money, right? So growing your audience is not a revenue generating task. It is a task that you do before a revenue generating task. So just be careful there. Okay, so that's step 2, define your client attraction, or like simple client attraction. Is that the part that needs attention? I'm just going to check the comments. Let me know if you guys are resonating with this. Hey, Louisa. Hi, Laura. You have helped me sign up 3 clients with a Facebook group of 70 odd people, a tiny audience. Didn't need what I thought I did. Amazing. Louisa's amazing. She signed up 3 clients, high ticket clients, and came to me. We worked together for about 2 months when she signed her first paying clients, and she didn't have a coaching business beforehand. She didn't have any of the assets in place. We built them all in 8 weeks, just like got to work, got all of the assets in place. And within 8 weeks, she signed her first client. It's now probably been 3 months we started working together. And she's got 3 high ticket clients. So amazing. Such a great example. And such a great example of doing it simply, because it wasn't around audience size. Louisa's just said she had a group of 70 people, right? So just remember, like, client attraction is not about audience size. Okay. So the third area, just to kind of look at this framework and identify if you're like, no, I've got clear foundations. I've defined my dream business. I've got my simple client attraction strategy in place. You'll know that's working because you have people booking calls with you, right? You have people reaching out and wanting to work with you. So you have leads coming into your business. So you've found a way to bring people into your business, right? The third quadrant that we want to look at then is successful sales, right? If you're not sold out, but I guess quadrant, what should I call them? Quadrant 1 and 2 are in place, but you're not making sales, then we need to look at successful sales, right? So this is around running confidently sales calls, overcoming objections, following people up, all of those things, right? And like directly asking for the sale, right? Because even having people reach out and want to work with you, some people then sabotage themselves and don't make offers. Like, oh, that's amazing, you want to work with me. It's like having someone in your shop and then the shop assistant ignores them, right? So successful sales. So you know this is your focus area if you are consistently bringing people into your business. So you have like lots of leads, but they're not converting, right? And often it's because people are maybe saying, I like you, not enough time, not enough money, right? Then we know that it's the sales part, right? Or they're coming in and inquiring, but you're not making offers to them. They're kind of some of the biggest things I see. So you know you have a sales problem to solve and to focus on if you're consistently bringing people in and they're not converting. So you're spending a lot of time doing discovery calls, sales calls, talking to people. People are saying like, oh, that's interesting. I could need help with that. And you're not not attracting, but you're not signing people in to work with you. Then what you need to look at is sales process, because again, what people can do here is get really distracted in terms of thinking about, oh, well, there's heaps of people in, but I just don't have the right people in my audience because they don't want to buy from me. So then I need to grow my audience, or I need to, I need to create a passive income stream or like a lower cost product because people keep telling me they can't afford it. And so then people find themselves building out these whole other suites of offers. And then what happens usually is it's solving the wrong problem. So if someone thinks, well, like I'm having all these calls and no one's buying, so it's either the price because people keep saying they can't afford it. So then they go and build a lower ticket offer, but then people don't take that up either. So they've solved the wrong problem and wasted a lot of time, right? So it's going to be something in there around how you're positioning it, people not understanding the value. So people don't book a call with you to want to work with you and then can't afford it. Like they wouldn't have booked the call if they literally weren't considering working with you, right? So you need to figure out what's going on there. Did they not see the value, right? Did I not explain it? Did they not see how they'd get a return on their investment, which doesn't have to be in dollars, but could be in time, in energy, in health, right? Did they not believe that working with me was going to get them the result? Did they not believe in my offer? They're the things you want to question. Did they not believe in themselves? That's a big one. Right? People want it, but they don't believe in themselves to get the result. So they say they can't afford it because they don't trust that they're going to generate the return, whether that's monetary or not. Right? So it's actually, a lot of the time it's not actually about money, but when people are scared, that's their response. And that's something you can coach people through, okay? Not in a slimy, icky way. It's not about convincing, but it's about coaching and knowing how to successfully guide someone through a sales process and realize they can trust themselves. They can trust the offer. They can trust you, right? That it is the way to get the result they want, right? And so then as well, I've talked about this before, but 80% of sales are closed after 5 follow-ups. So making sure you've got processes there to follow up people. If they're like, this sounds great, I want to work with you in a few weeks, I just need to get ducks in a row, or this sounds great, but I'm actually, someone just told me I'm having a baby, I need the baby to come, and then I can commit to starting, right? Just those kinds of things. Do you have a process to follow up, right? And stay in touch with those people, right? So that's pillar 3. All right, I'm just going to check the comments again because they're not popping up on my screen. Amazing. Okay, cool. So define your dream business. We've looked at simple client attraction. We've looked at successful sales, right? So you've got a sales problem, and I put it in inverted commas because it's not a problem. It's just like, hey, this is the thing that's not working that I need to solve for, right? Which is that's just the whole path of business, right? I have new problems in my business with where I'm at, and it's just like, hey, it's not a problem that is going to derail us. It's just like something we need to find a solution for. We just need to figure out. Okay, so successful sales, right? Conversion. If you're generating lots of leads and people are coming in and making inquiries, but you're not converting and you don't end up signing clients, then there's something in your sales process. Okay. The 4th quadrant that we're going to look at, which really overarches everything, is mindset. Okay. Now, mindset can interplay with each of these, right? But mindset is often the thing that's stopping people from showing up consistently. It's the thing that's stopping them from defining their dream business in the first place. It's the thing that's stopping them from inviting people in and developing a path, right? Mindset in this context is often about not believing in yourself and your offer and your ability to deliver results to your clients, or some kind of belief around what it takes to run a business, right? So if you find yourself like, one of the things that I found when I realized that mindset was the thing that was holding me back was that I knew what I needed to be doing, but I wasn't doing it, right? So if you know what you need to be doing in business, but you find yourself procrastinating, avoiding, in self-doubt, right? Any of those manifestations, it's probably not as much strategy. Now, obviously there's an overlap because sometimes we do that because we don't know the strategy, right? But in my experience, it's usually mindset, right? Because what we're thinking creates results that match how we think, right? So if you're thinking no one wants to buy from me, right? That's indicative of a mindset challenge, not a strategy challenge. Because with the strategy challenge, you're like, I wonder how I can figure out how to attract people into my business. I wonder how I could run that sales call a bit better, and actually figure out what their objection is. So like when it's a strategy problem, you're probably coming at it from that way, like super neutral, it's data. You're like, I wonder how I would do this. I'm curious. Let me figure this out, right? That's strategy. Where if it's more of a belief, so see how they were more questions. They were questions, right? Intrigued questions to solve a problem based on data. Like, I'm getting lots of people into my business, but no one ends up signing up with me. I wonder what I need to figure out there. There's something in my sales process that's not working, That's very different to a belief that no one wants to buy from me. I suck. I mustn't be a good coach, right? Those are all indicative of mindset challenges. Now, a lot of people think their mindset challenge is a fact, right? You might be thinking, oh yeah, like, I know you're saying no one wants to buy from me as a mindset challenge, but I really think it's true. No one wants to buy from me, right? And like, this can be super hard. And I kind of giggle because our brain is hilarious, but you're always going to create results that match what you're thinking, right? If you're thinking no one wants to buy from you, you're going to show up in a way where no one buys or no one even wants to buy. You're not even attracting them into your business, right? So if this is the thing for you, you're going to distinguish your mindset in that your mindset is probably not in growth mode. It's not like, oh, this is interesting. We've got a challenge. We need to figure this out. Or like, I don't know what to do, but let me try this and see if it works. Mindset is going to be more about you and your beliefs about yourself and business, right? So if there's a mindset challenge, that's how it's going to show up, right? And often you're not showing up at the level in your business that you know you could do or that you need to get the results. Now, business, talking to a client this week, I definitely do not work 40 hours a week, right? But there is a certain level of consistency that is required to grow your business, right? It's not going to grow off 1 hour a week, right? So if you see that you're not showing up consistently for your business because you're kind of half in, half out, or doubting your ability to create results or doubting your ability to deliver results to your clients or anything like that, it's most likely a mindset challenge. And that's why you're not showing up for the strategy. Okay. So if you're like, none of those things really resonated for you, or you're kind of doing all of them, but they're all kind of problems, then my guess is going to be that it's a mindset challenge. That is your focus area, because mindset is what allows us to show up for the strategy. So that was the 4 pieces in the Simply Sold Out framework to identify what is the problem I need to solve in my business right now to become sold out, right? So we looked at defining your dream business, clear foundations, a clear vision, a clear why to drive you, and a clear purpose in your business in terms of coaching with people and, helping a certain group of people get a certain result, right? That's defining your dream business. Quadrant 2 was simple client attraction, right? Do I have people consistently coming into my business, right? Do I have leads? Do I have inquiries? Are people taking action and coming in? Okay. If not, that's your focus area. Right. Quadrant 3, we had successful sales. So if you consistently have people coming in, but they're not converting, that's where you want to focus your energy. What's happening in your sales calls? What's happening in your clients in terms of their belief? Are you overcoming objections? Are you directly asking them for the sale? Are you following up? Successful sales. And then overarching all of that in Quadrant 4 is mindset. Right? So if you are questioning yourself, questioning your audience, questioning your ability, if you find yourself in sabotaging behaviors like procrastination, avoidance, or if you aren't showing up in your business in the way that you know that you would need to create results, mindset. All right, so that's the 4 quadrants that I wanted to share with you. And I really want to give this to you so you can assess, like, where do I actually need to focus my attention? Because what I see is people focusing their attention on the wrong problem, right? And it's not always my place to tell them that, because if they haven't asked my opinion, it's not my place to give someone my opinion if they haven't asked, right? So I see this all of the time. I'm out on social media, watching people really interested in what's going on, right? But I'm not going to give unsolicited feedback to someone where I can see that they're clearly solving the wrong problem, right? That just doesn't go down well. It's not my place. They haven't asked to be coached. They may not want that, right? So, but this is what I'm seeing a lot. People are solving the wrong problems, okay? And because they're not identifying what the problem is, because they don't have a framework to do that. So I really wanted to give this to you today so that you could assess for yourself, where do I need to focus my energy? Where do I need to bring in a coach? Or where do I need to get support? Or where do I need to learn more on the specifics, instead of looking really generally and saying, my business isn't working, I don't know what's working. Zoom in, find the problem, and then fix that. Because otherwise you are fixing the wrong problem. You're signing up for the wrong trainings and things that aren't actually going to help you. And you're building in more complexity and more steps into your business that aren't actually required, right? You don't need to be growing your audience. You don't need a 10 email sequence welcome series, right? Not saying that's wrong, but that's not needed initially to sell out your business, right? And if you build that, right, that's like a medium-term play, because first you need to build it, then you need to attract people in, you need the lead magnet, like all of this stuff is putting so many steps before you can actually sign clients. But you can literally sign a client this week. Well, it's Friday, but I mean, you could sign one today, but you could sign a client next week if you just solve the right problem and get out there and do it, right? You do not need a large audience, right? I've signed clients who have seen something in a group that's not my group, who weren't following me on social media, jumped on a call with me, booked a call, and became a long-term client. There's multiple people that have done that, and they weren't even following me. So they signed up to work together and they weren't following me. When they signed up, then they started following me on Instagram, right? So it doesn't have to be as complicated and convoluted as you think. It can be really simple as long as you solve the right problem. So that's what I want to share with you today. That's the Simply Sold Out method. That's the 4 quadrants that are in there. This is really about growing your business to being booked out consistently. It's the method to do that. And then from there, if you're like, hey, I'm consistently booking out my business, then we look at systems and scaling, right? Support, system scaling, support to help you grow your business, systematizing and automation to get your time back and in check while you're working with clients, and then scaling beyond 6 figures. So they're all the things I help my clients with. I have clients who are, making 6 figures in their business that are scaling beyond that. And I have clients who are right at the start of their journey too. So I want to share this with you. If you're not at this stage, right, then it's kind of the same thing, but like you'll have different problems in like your system support and scaling, right? Like what needs attention there, but that's a different training for a different day. All right. So let me know if you have questions. I'm going to have a sip of water. And if we don't have any questions, I'm going to jump off and love you and leave you there, because I just rabbited on for 45 minutes, which is quite a long time. Going to check the comments. Right. All righty. There is a bit of a lag, but it looks like no comments have come through, but sometimes I do end and then they come through. So I'll just give it one more minute and let you get on with your Friday. What are you celebrating from the week? See, I've noticed that people have stopped celebrating themselves in this group, right? And that's totally fine. Like you don't have to do that. You're not obligated to, but it's interesting how we want our clients to celebrate themselves, right? And share their wins. And sometimes as like coaches, I can see that a lot of people struggle with that. And I get it. Like it's so hard for me sometimes to share my wins because we create so much drama about what everyone else thinks. But every time I do it, people are really willing to celebrate. People are like, oh my God, it's just so good to like see that, to hear that, to see what's possible, to see that someone that they see is just like them is doing something they want to do, and you're inspiring people along the way. So it looks like there's no comments. I'm going to leave you there. Love everything you've said. All true. Amazing. Thank you. Good to see you on here, Louisa. That's fun. Happy Friday. Have a fabulous week and weekend. It's a long weekend here in Queensland. I think it is across most of Australia. But yes, enjoy, take that downtime, figure out what's the right problem I need to be solving and focus there, and don't get distracted, right? That's when you're going to grow your business. And that's what I wanted you to walk away with today. So I'm so glad that you joined me live. Thank you for being here. And oh my gosh, my mouse has disappeared. All right. And I'll chat with you soon. Bye.